A sensational claim from Italian and Scottish scientists about the discovery of a giant underground city beneath the Giza Pyramid Complex has sparked a wave of controversy and skepticism within the global archaeological and scientific community. According to the initial announcement, this city is believed to be located more than 2,000 meters deep and is 10 times the size of the pyramids themselves, a discovery that, if confirmed, would completely rewrite the history of ancient Egypt and human civilization. However, immediately after this information was disseminated, a series of independent experts strongly refuted the claim, calling it scientifically unfounded and smelling of gross exaggeration. This sharp opposition has turned a potentially revolutionary discovery into a heated debate, raising many questions about the authenticity of the research and the approach of the scientific team behind it. The research team and pulse radar technology. Leading this controversial research team are two scientists, Corrado Malanga, a researcher from the University of Pisa, Italy, and Filippo Biondi, an expert from the University of Strathclyde, Scotland. They claim to have used an advanced technology called pulse radar to create high-resolution images of structures deep underground beneath the Giza Pyramid area. Pulse radar technology works similarly to how sonar is used to scan the ocean floor. It emits radar waves into the ground, and by analyzing the reflected signals, scientists can create a map of objects and structures hidden beneath the surface. According to the research team, this method revealed the existence of 8 vertical cylindrical structures, each extending more than approximately 640 meters below the Khafra Pyramid, the second largest pyramid in the Giza complex. Additionally, they also detected other unidentified structures at a depth of about 1 to 200 meters. In a confident press release, the research team described their findings as groundbreaking and stated that they have the potential to rewrite the history of ancient Egypt if these structures truly exist and are verified. This statement quickly attracted the attention of the media and the public, igniting imaginations about a mysterious ancient civilization hidden deep beneath the desert sands. Skepticism from the expert community. However, the initial excitement was quickly dampened by strong skepticism from independent experts in the fields of archaeology, geophysics, and Egyptology. Many scientists have voiced deep doubts about the feasibility and reliability of these claims. One of the most vocal critics is Lawrence Conyers, a ground-penetrating radar (GPR) researcher at the University of Denver. He points out a core technical issue. Current radar technology, including pulse radar, does not have the capability to scan as deep as 2,000 meters under typical geological conditions in the Giza area. Conyers believes that the idea of a giant underground city at such a depth is highly exaggerated and unlikely to be true. He suggests that there might be smaller structures, such as pillars or chambers, beneath the pyramids, which could have existed before they were built. But a city of such a large scale is implausible. Conyers emphasizes that to verify any such claims, it is necessary to conduct targeted excavations and directly examine the alleged structures. He also notes that even if the research team's radar method is sound, the interpretation of the obtained data needs to be carefully considered and cross-referenced with existing knowledge about the area. Rebuttals from leading Egyptologists. Skepticism has not only come from experts in radar technology, but also from leading Egyptologists, who have dedicated their lives to studying the history and archaeology of ancient Egypt. The former Egyptian Minister of Antiquities, Dr. Mamdouh al-Damati, flatly rejected the claim as completely baseless. He points out that decades of research and excavation in the Giza Pyramid area have yielded no evidence whatsoever of the existence of such large structures as an underground city. Dr. al-Damati emphasizes that this area has been thoroughly studied using various methods, and such a revolutionary discovery would certainly have been recorded long ago. Similarly, Dr. Hussein Abdelbasir, a reputable Egyptologist and former director of the Giza Pyramid area, also asserted that this research lacks basic scientific standards. He emphasizes that any credible archaeological discovery must be published in reputable scientific journals after undergoing rigorous peer review by other experts in the field. Publishing such a significant finding solely through a press conference and a press release is unusual and does not follow standard scientific procedures. Dr. Abdelbasir further explained the physical limitations of geophysical techniques such as ground-penetrating radar and seismic analysis. He stated that under the best conditions, these methods can only survey at a depth of a few tens of meters, not hundreds of meters, let alone 600 meters, as claimed by the research team. He called the idea of giant structures at that depth science fiction, not based on reality. Concerns about research background and links to conspiracy theories. Another factor that has increased the skepticism of the scientific community is the background of one of the main researchers, Corrado Malanga. Dr. Abdelbasir noted that Malanga was previously known for his research on UFOs and often appeared on television programs related to extraterrestrials and other paranormal phenomena. According to Abdelbasir, the involvement of a researcher with such a background in the field of archaeology risks turning scientific research into a tool for promoting conspiracy theories and populism, rather than serving truth and scientific knowledge. This connection to unconventional topics has led many to question the objectivity and approach of the research team in interpreting their radar data. Scientists typically rely on physical evidence and verified theories to draw conclusions, and relying on unproven hypotheses can lead to misinterpretations. Limitations of ground-penetrating radar, GPR. To better understand the skepticism of the experts, we need to take a closer look at ground-penetrating radar, GPR technology, a technique similar to pulse radar that the research team claims to have used. GPR is a non-destructive geophysical method that uses radar waves to image subsurface structures. Radar waves are transmitted into the ground and reflect back when they encounter objects or changes in material composition. By analyzing the time and intensity of these reflected waves, scientists can create an image of what lies beneath the surface. However, the depth that GPR can reach is limited by several factors, including the electrical properties of the soil, the frequency of the radar waves used, and the presence of water or other conductive materials. Under ideal conditions, GPR can reach depths of a few tens of meters, but in soils with high electrical conductivity, such as moist clay, the penetration depth can be reduced to just a few meters. The Giza area, with its soil composition mainly of limestone and sand, may allow for relatively better penetration compared to clay soils. However, reaching depths of 640 meters, let alone 2,000 meters, is extremely difficult, if not impossible, with current GPR technology. Radar waves would be significantly weakened and absorbed when traveling such a long distance, making it extremely challenging to collect meaningful reflected signals. previous research and existing evidence. It is important to note that the Giza Pyramid Complex area has been the subject of decades of intensive scientific research using various methods, including geophysical surveys. Scientists have used GPR, seismic analysis, resistivity measurements, and other techniques to map subsurface structures in this area. While there have been discoveries of chambers, tunnels, and smaller structures around and beneath the pyramids, there has never been any evidence of a giant underground city on the scale described in the recent claim. The Giza pyramids and their surrounding area have been extensively studied and excavated for centuries. Thousands of artifacts have been found, providing a wealth of information about ancient Egyptian civilization and the construction of these monumental structures. If such a large underground city existed, it is highly likely that some traces or indirect evidence of it would have been discovered in previous research. The importance of scientific method and peer review. This case once again highlights the importance of rigorous scientific methods and the peer review process in archaeological research and science in general. Any claim of a revolutionary discovery needs to be supported by strong evidence, verifiable data, and must undergo thorough evaluation by other experts in the field. Publishing scientific findings through reputable peer-reviewed journals allows the scientific community to examine the research methodology, analyze the data, and assess the validity of the conclusions. This is a crucial process to ensure the accuracy and reliability of scientific knowledge. Bypassing this process and relying solely on press releases can lead to the spread of misinformation and undermine the credibility of scientific research. Unanswered questions and future research directions. While the claim of a giant underground city seems implausible based on current knowledge and technology, this does not mean that the Giza area is devoid of further mysteries. Scientists are still continuing to research and explore this area, and perhaps in the future, new technologies and innovative approaches may reveal things we never knew. However, any future research needs to adhere to strict scientific standards, use proven methods, and publish results through appropriate scientific channels. Collaboration between experts from various fields, including archaeology, geophysics, geology, and Egyptology, is crucial to obtain a comprehensive and accurate understanding of the history and archaeology of the Giza area. Conclusion. The claim of discovering a giant underground city beneath the Giza pyramids has caused a great stir, but it has also been met with strong skepticism from the scientific community. Experts point to the limitations of radar technology, the lack of evidence from previous research, and the importance of rigorous scientific methods. While the likelihood of such a large underground city existing is very low, the curiosity and desire to explore the mysteries of the past continue to drive scientists and the public. In the future, we can hope for further research that will shed more light on the rich and complex history of the Giza Pyramid area. But this research needs to be based on solid evidence and adhere to fundamental scientific principles.